So the Echo's fine.
Yeah, welcome back to Australian Nationals 2019. We are now into the quarterfinals, where we have a cracker of a match. We have Bowden Temnick, a world's competitor, versus Ashoka Garen Mashord. This is going to be amazing.
Joker is one of the longest playing players in Australia, and he's done very well for himself. And Bowden, he's been to Worlds twice, last year and back in 2016.
Also finishing second at Worlds, of course. So we
34.
have Ashoka going first, so I assume he won the dice roll.
He opens the Salamangreat Circle, and he added Gazelle off it.
I believe so.
He summons a Jack Jaguar, and he'll be able to link summon the Balinks. He'll activate the effect of Salamangreat Balinks to be able to. Oh, he does, and activate the effect of Salamangreat Gazelle in response.
So the classic opening for Salamangreat. I believe this is the first time Salamangreat's been on stream in Australia.
Yeah, definitely. And Bowden piloting that Thunder Dragon Danger deck, which he used at the YCS as well.
A 41 card variant, which is a bit different to normal. We saw Jesse Cotton play the deck to win YCS with a 45 card deck, I believe.
Yeah, I guess Bowden just trimmed the fat a little, skimmed off the top and the rest.
Well, I think the big difference is he's not playing the Crusader engine.
Ashoka summons Mirage Stelio, which will be able to summon Salamangreat monster from deck. He chooses summon Falco.
Did he summon? Did he send a trap off Gazelle or did he send Spinny?
I believe that's a spinny that I don't see a trap card in the graveyard.
So Phantasme coming down now from Bowden, which allow him to draw true two cards and put one back into the deck. So he's probably digging for that Sekka's Light or other power cards.
yeah, Ashoka does not have response to that. He will be able to summon. I believe his play will be to summon another Sunlight Wolf over the Sunlight Wolf using the Sanctuary that he added.
That way he can make Dweller and also add back the Gazelle of the Wolf effect.
Yeah, Dweller being a very powerful card against the Thunder Dragon deck. The Salamangreat deck winning the dice roll is very important because their deck is very strong going first. It can create a very strong board that Thunder Dragon struggles to be able to overcome. And likewise, the Thunder Dragon deck going first will be able to create a strong board that the Salamangreat is very unlikely to overcome.
It's very common that the Salamangreat decks are playing a lot of hand traps, and it's pretty much because of the Thunder Dragon deck.
Yeah, we do see the Dweller, and we do see Sunlight Wolf becoming another Sunlight Wolf to be able to add back the circle.
So a very strong opening by Ash. He has a Veiler too, so which is a really strong hand trap against this deck when used at the right time.
There's a Phantasme in his hand as well, I believe.
Very, very strong.
And he's passing his turn very clearly there with that hand gesture. And
So Bowden's playing the prize card Chaos Emperor Dragon, trying to use it to get another one, I assume, if he takes out today's event.
Standby phase, Ashoka just guns the effect of Abyss Dweller, sending Jack Jaguar to the graveyard. He's with monster on Bowden's field, he knows that there's no chance of a Cyphering Gamma coming down, so he's just gonna play around any possible Kaijus coming down.
Or even an Infinite Impermanence if you
Yeah.
didn't know of Bowden's deck before the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. Bowden having that Bowden playing that Thunder Dragon, drawing 2 extra copies of Thunder Dragon from his deck. He
Ooh,
has
and he
the
has the
Sekka's
Light.
lets him draw 2 cards, but for the remainder of the game, he can only activate Sekka's Light.
I don't think that'll be a problem, as he is only playing Sekka's Light as his spell card, and no trap cards, as usual.
It's a very streamlined deck. He doesn't want to be able to draw like spells which are weak at some points. He just wants to play all monsters which have an effect and can progress his game state to an ideal strategy that he wants to push. It takes the effect of Danger Bigfoot to be able to summon itself. And if Danger Bigfoot does miss, in normal circumstances, will be able to destroy a face-up monster. But
Face-up card, I believe.
face-up card, yeah. So, but because of Dweller, it won't be able to.
Ooh, and Ash hits the Levionaire.
I think Bowden's strategy at this point is to be able to just summon a lot of monsters and attack for a lot of damage because he cannot activate graveyard effects. Losing the Levionaire, however, is pretty painful because it is a 3,000 attack monster that can clear monsters as well.
Yes, and he does play 3 copies of it, so there's a chance he has another one with all the cards he's drawn, but having that one would have been nice too.
Do you believe that Bowden is adopting the strategy where he summons a lot of monsters with very high attack points?
Most definitely. But I think I've just noticed I don't think he's playing Thunder Dragon Duo, which is a really accessible big monster.
Yeah,
It's quite a small Thunder Dragon engine. It's basically Chaos Dragons at this point.
yeah. He summons Batteryman Solar to be able to send a Thunder monster from his deck to the graveyard. Do you think that Ash has? He does not have the rage.
I think he has Veiler, but with Phantasma on the field, the Phantasma can just negate.
Yeah,
And Bird has a lot of cards in.
yeah. Uh,
The
even
sending Raw to Grave lets him have another way to resolve its effect,
mm.
since it'll get banished, it's not affected by Dweller.
And just like in the last match, you can have one player open very strong and the other player just open the right counter hand to it.
I think this is a very standard hand for the Thunder Dragon deck.
Yeah,
Like he did have Seika's Light, but they do play 3.
it,
And
it
his
is
deck is
true.
40 cards, 41 cards, sorry.
But Bowden does have to adjust his strategy to play around that Abyss Dweller because he can't utilize any graveyard effects. He might, instead of making a board using graveyard effects, he might just summon a lot of big monsters.
I think that's correct.
He's
Choosing to make Colossus here with a Battery Man Solar, since he used the Thunder Dragon effect at the start of the turn.
a Sunlight Wolf effect will trigger and he can activate a card back to his hand. I believe he added Falco, was it?
I think it might have been Jaguar, possibly Spinny. Unless he didn't
Yeah.
add Gazelle last turn for any reason. I think it was Spinny.
Ashoka does play one copy of Mole in his deck. I don't believe many Salamander players are using Mole.
Mole? So he does have another Legionnaire.
And look, that is his strategy of summoning just a lot of monsters and attacking for a lot of damage.
He's using the effective Legionnaire though, so he's just going to clear the board as much as he can and see if he can go for game.
Destroys 2 cards untargeted.
Correct. So Strokes is probably just thinking if he wants to use the Veiler now. But again, the Phantasma can still negate it.
He also has Balings to be able to protect the Sunlight Wolf or the Sanctuary from being destroyed.
True.
But Dweller's only your opponent's graveyard effects, correct?
You can also chain the circle to make the Sunlight Wolf unaffected.
Yes, he can do that. Maybe wants. Oh, that's a
Ooh, enemy controller.
very powerful card. You can take control of 11 here.
Like the Phantasma can negate it if he wants, but then the Veiler can resolve.
Yeah, if Levinia switches control, can Bowden then choose to destroy the own Levinia?
I think so. Since at the resolution it'll be on Ashoka's field,
Yeah.
and he can still destroy 2 cards from Ashoka's field.
And see what is happening now.
He's going to chain the circle to do exactly what I said, that he'll just make the Sunlight unaffected. And he'll probably choose to either let the Sanctuary go, or he could defect it with Banelinks.
Ooh.
He'll also be able to activate Falco and a new chain to reset a spell or trap, so he can
Yeah.
get that circle back again, especially if he gets another turn. But Colossus is on the field.
He does choose to destroy Levinia itself and the Sanctuary. Ash chooses not to protect Sanctuary with the Balinks.
I think that might be correct, because if he just uses the Banelinks there, and Bowden finds another way to deal with the Wolf, he has a lot of damage on board already.
But at what stage does he want to use Balinks? Because the Sunlight Wolf will be attacked over twice anyway, right?
True, but that's less damage.
Yeah, true.
Like if he just lets it be destroyed by battle the first time, and Bowden has a lot more monsters on the field, he'll just be attacking for game at that point.
Bowden's been able to generate a very strong field. That's a Thunder Dragon Dark. Where did that come from?
The Raw that was banished of Levier.
yeah, true. Very true.
So Phantasma or Gazelle. So Ashoka's decided that he wants to get as many monsters on the field, so he doesn't lose this turn.
Yeah. Bowden can summon another Thunder Dragon Colossus if he wants. Although that card isn't very strong against Salamangreat after they've done their searching on first end.
It's true, but it's also hard for Salamangreat to do multiple Colossus.
And
Like-
there we see the
Mole!
the mole's effect is to return 5 Salamangreat cards to draw a card, right?
Correct, and he can even put the extra cards back.
Yeah, so you can recycle the Sunlight Wolf and the Balinks and the Mirage Stallion as well.
It's
Mirage
already
Stallion is already
live.
been Yeah, it's a very underutilized card. Players don't see the need to use it, but in the long games, it can really put in a lot of work by recycling these Sunlight Wolves.
In worst case, it's still an extender. Like if they stop your Jaguar and you have Mole in hand, you can special summon it to a zone that a Link Monster points to on your field.
Yep.
So you can just trigger the Sunlight Wolf effect anyway and get Gazelle back.
Yeah, definitely.
It's got a lot of good uses. It's also got 0 attack and defense, which is relevant for when you do the Chimera push. So you have a monster in grave that has 0 that you can make on your
Yeah.
opponent's field 0 as well.
Yeah, Bowden just link summons using the Colossus and the Dark to summon a Lanthorincus.
I think he's decided probably can't win this turn, so he's probably going to try and make a stronger board for Ashoka's turn.
But he did get rid of 2 very powerful monsters and is opening up Ashoka summoning Phantasme of his own.
But when he does have Phantasme,
Summoning defense position to preserve some life points. He drew 2 cards and drew
another
a.
Veiler and another Spinny.
I believe that it was a Foxy, not a Veiler.
Oh, was it?
They both have a very blue background, so it's very hard to tell. But I'm pretty sure it was a Foxy. No, it's another Veiler. Why are they both blue?
Sure, there's a joke there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Well, that's a Chaos Dragon. Like no Black Dragon.
Collapse Serpent, I
Collapse
think.
Serpent. Yeah, that one.
The other one.
The other one is Wyver Buster, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But when Black Dragon goes to graveyard, he won't be able to search the other ones. Unfortunate. He
The
summons
Dweller's
LP.
still in effect.
Mm.
So the LP comes down and Effect Veiler hits it. So Bowden will choose to negate with Phantasme, and Ashoka will use another Effect Veiler.
This puts,
Very good.
now Bowden's probably reconsidering putting away that Colossus. He could have ended on 2 Colossus if he wanted to. That would have been pretty good.
That's true. Does Ashoka's actually have many outs to multiple Colossus? Does he play the Borreload?
He does play the Borreloid. He doesn't play the update jammer, so he can only take 1 monster. He plays Super Polymerization in the main deck, so he can summon a Starving Venom Fusion Dragon.
Well, that's a really strong out. So very clever by Bowden here, using his opponent's link zone.
Yeah.
So he would have been able to resolve LP while still freeing up other zones with his Lanthorincus.
Yeah, but now he's got his back against the wall. Phantasme is a dragon, I believe, so he could use Phantasme and LP to make Agape.
I think he can still summon anyway, because Veiler negated LP.
All right.
And the whole effect includes the effect that he can only summon
Yeah.
dragons. So since it's negated, he's allowed to resolve other summons.
Oh, it's unfortunate he hit the Jackalope.
Oh, and the Dweller's still putting in work.
Yeah. Oh.
If Bowden clears all of Ashoka's cards, he'll be allowed to resolve Mole to start his turn. So he'll get 3 additional cards instead of the 1 that he draws for turn.
Mm.
Very interesting game state for both players. Bowden's used up most of his hand. He still has Second's Light engraved, but he can't use it because of Dweller.
Mm. And Ashoka's graveyard is filled with monsters like Jack Jaguar and Spinny and monsters that just summon themselves from the graveyard.
Does Ashoka play Fusion of Fire in the main?
Ashoka does not play Fusion of Fire in the main.
Damn.
Or in the side for that matter.
He doesn't play it at all.
No,
I
he
assume
does
he's just
not.
relying on drawing a Super Poly at some point.
Super Polymerization is a very powerful card. Maybe he thinks that's enough.
I think he has Pot of Desires in his main deck, possibly, so he has more
Yep.
ways to draw to it as well. As
Two
well as Mole.
Yeah, he has 2 Pot of Desires.
Yeah.
Lanthorincus will attack the Gazelle, and Ashoka will protect it using Balinks. Do you know how much attack LP has?
I believe it's like 8,500, something like that. 500. It's not very big, but it must be. Oh, it mustn't be big enough to get over Gazelle. So it has to be at
Usually,
least less than 1,000.
I usually don't attack with LP. LP is a monster that doesn't often stay on the field.
I believe it's 1,000 or less. So either way, it's probably not getting over anything. It's 1,000.
And Gazelle has how much defense?
I think it's 1,000 or 1,200.
One of those monsters, 15, 12. That's
It's
standard.
definitely bigger than LB. It's 1,000 as well. So they're the same.
They bump. Is leaving that Phantasme on the field going to pose a threat later? Oh, you might just
He's going to destroy it with his own.
All right, that Bigfoot attacked over Sunlight Wolf. Ah, yes.
Yes. So now Bowden good for the link play.
He's
And
going
Ashoka's used both Veilers to deal with the LP.
and Bowden's going to be able to summon Saryuja to draw 4 cards. Maybe the 4 cards will get him to where he needs.
Used most of his engine already though. So what else can he possibly draw? Because he doesn't play Duo. He can draw more dangers, I guess, to dig for more other cards. He can't resolve Eclipse Wyvern anyway.
Yeah,
He can draw Brotor,
he drew Sekka's Light.
which you can't use because you already used once this turn.
He's choosing to put it away.
He may draw Diabolos, which is a hard card to out.
And like you said, the Brotor, he might special summon the Brotor off Saryuja. And there's There's a world which exists where he targets a Sayuja and then searches a sloth or a what's the other card?
If he played it, the Goliath, which
But
he does not.
ah, damn, that would have been pretty cool.
Well, he could also target the Brotor itself and add Chaos Emperor Dragon, Armageddon of the End, or whatever it's called, the prize card,
Yeah,
and that could put in some work.
Chaos Emperor, the Dragon of Armageddon.
So he did draw the Diabolus, and it's now 3,300 thanks to Saryuja's effect.
I believe it can't be targeted either. It's a very
Correct, or
difficult monster.
tributed by an opponent's card. Want another levy in there. He'll probably make a rank 8. So his options for a rank 8 including number 38 Harbinger
And the other number,
and the Sky Prison, which
number
is I believe it's
68.
number 68.
Yeah. Xenophon.
Uh,
Xenophon's effect is like Dweller. It prevents Ashoka from special summoning monsters from his graveyard, like that Jack Jagger we see on top of the Sunlight
and
Wall.
the Spinny that's back in his hand.
Yeah.
That'll be what he's going for, I believe.
And Bowden searches Hawk, which will be able to special summon the Dark from the graveyard, and then
Or the Raw.
and then he'll be able to make Thunder Dragon Colossus.
I
So
believe he banished the Dark to add the Hawk.
oh, did he? So
Yeah.
what is he gonna summon?
You can Hawk back from the banish zone too.
All right. So yeah. So Ashoka won't be able to search on his turn. He also won't be able to use his It won't be able to summon from the graveyard.
So the circle that he set off Falco is not going to really do much for him.
He tributes the Diabolus.
So he's going to put Ashoka back a turn, basically.
Oh, so he's choosing not to summon the Xenophon. Oh wait, he can because when Bowden summons back the Colossus, he can can he summon back
He can
Diabolos?
summon back Raw and make another Colossus. And
And
then
Di-
just overlay for Sky Prison.
Diabolos can summon itself back under Dweller.
Not under Dweller. No, it
Ah.
activates.
Oh, but he will make it using the
He'll
he-
still make Sky Prison. He just has
using
to not have Colossuses.
uh,
So Ashoka will still be able to resolve the circle. But whether that is enough, we'll have to wait, I think. The upside for Ashoka is if he can out the board, Bowden doesn't have much left for the next turn. He just has Seika's Lighting Grave.
it's very difficult to out the board through a Xenophon.
You'd have to draw Super Poly, I reckon. It's
We
like
have
the main
seen
out.
Two very powerful turns. This is only the second turn of the game, Bowden's first turn,
That's crazy.
and even playing at a reasonable pace, it's taken almost 20 minutes.
Oh wow, I didn't notice the clock got below 20.
Yeah.
What a game.
Very different to the Sky Striker match we saw earlier, which was a very slow-paced match. This was a very fast-paced match, but it still took a lot of time. Both players playing at a level where they don't want to make any mistakes.
If Astral's Super Poly, he may just win. Oh, he's gone for Heavenly Spheres instead. Very interesting.
Heavenly Spheres being able to tribute itself to return a card on the field to hand, and then he can special summon a dragon.
Which will probably be Brotor.
I believe that's the only thing he can summon, right?
I believe
Oh,
so,
Eclipse
since
Wyvern.
Diabolus is out of his deck. Oh, and Wyvern. He does play Dragon Duo. He just wrote in a different spot.
Yeah, he just put it near the bottom with all the ones.
Very good. I think Ash is going to force the spheres here, because worst case, if it gets bounced back to hand, he can resolve Mole.
Yeah. Oh. No, Bowden thinks about this.
I think the Sky Prison play might have been better.
Oh, it's very hard to evaluate if you're not
Yeah,
sitting in their seats.
It's true.
There are so many decision trees involved. It could have been different. He could have ended with a sphere if he didn't tribute
Diabolus.
he could have ended on both Colossus and the Sky Prison.
So he decides to bounce a Gazelle back, which means Ash will be able to resolve the Mole.
And he will summon the Eclipse Wyvern.
I believe that's smart, because if you put a Dark on the field, if Ash just draws Super Poly, he just wins.
Yeah, by summoning the Eclipse Wyvern when it goes to the graveyard, you'll be able to banish either another Levineer or the Chaos Emperor Dragon,
Yeah.
and then be able to summon it.
I really hope to see the Emperor Dragon on stream.
I believe he's going to use the Mole now.
Oh,
He
coming
uses
in.
the Mole.
Never going to hear the end of that.
Um,
Got to resolve
Ah.
Mole on stream. Oh, we can put the Sanctuary back too. That's really cool.
but in this event, he loses access to the Jack Jaguar and the Falco.
He can just send it again with Gazelle. He's got
Mm.
Gazelle in hand. He's got Circles set, but he can't use it at the moment.
He's also lost his battle phase, so Bowden will be free to keep all his monsters.
Unless he can get to Stelio and bounce the Colossus.
And that is very
It's like
true.
the main way. And he's got Spinny Gazelle already in hand.
Gonna shuffle well.
There we go. Another Spinny and a Jaguar.
Oh,
They're not great. They're not the worst.
Joker thinking through his plays here.
Does he play the second dweller by any chance?
He does not play the second dweller. He only plays one rank 4 monster.
I think that's become pretty standard, especially if he's maining Super Poly. Those slots just get taken up way too easy.
Yeah, we've seen people play cards like Tornado Dragon and the terribly tied taper, Baguska, that one.
Yeah, that card kind of lost favor when Orcus became a better deck, since
Yeah.
they use Link play so much and Dweller's so much more impactful.
Yeah.
We're seeing the standard Balinks and then Chain Gazelle.
Also see that Ashoka does not play Avramax, which is a very popular card people play.
Why did Burden draw a card? Oh, he has another Phantasme.
Yeah.
Wow.
Puts
Now Ash won't be able to bounce the Colossus because Bone will be able to protect with Phantasme.
Yeah.
He can
And-
still send like Rage to be able to put Bone back again.
He
Just
also
depends what he
wasn't able to
draws.
search Sanctuary off Balinks because of the
Correct.
Colossus.
He may send Rage here.
Or you can
he'll
see
find another
Ashoka
way to get back.
see
Shaking. a bit.
shaking. I would be shaking too.
There's 14 minutes left. They're still in game one. This game is very important.
Yeah.
Obviously in the quarterfinals too.
And this matchup, neither deck has a way to be able to deal damage through a field, right? I don't think any deck does.
I think the closest way is Salamangreat using the field spill and then doing the damage effect.
Yeah. Ashoka does not play Paro, the one that special the one that when you get
Jeez.
attack special summons itself and then you contribute it to gain 2,000 life points.
That card's so silly.
Yeah, I'm not I do believe some of Salamangreat players this weekend would utilize it in the side deck,
Oh, definitely.
but I'm not sure how many times it's come through for them.
There's only Stelio now.
From what we see, these strategies that are specifically designed for end of match procedures aren't successful in the long run. And a lot of players come back saying that they wish they played a more impactful card.
That's
It could-
true.
If they played a card that was more impactful at 20 minutes, they wouldn't need a card for when there's 2 minutes, right?
I believe that's correct.
He does a Mirage Delio play and attempts to return the Colossus.
So Phantasme does discard, right?
Yeah, he discards Nessie, which adds Jackalope to his hand. And 12, just under 13 minutes on the clock. Bowden has Jackalope in hand, nothing else. He'll be able to link away the Eclipse Wave in search. And he has a lot of plays going for him. If he draws any monster which banishes from the graveyard, he just might be able to get there. Comes back to Jack Jaguar, returning the Mirage Delio.
A lot of pointing going on with the Phantasme.
Yeah, he's probably just clarifying that he uses effect. He summons the Sunlight Wolf adds back the Gazelle.
Might get to that point now where Ash might just want to push for damage. So he might be thinking of using Heat Leo to drop Phantasme to 0. But without the field spell, it gets quite harder.
This is main phase 2 though.
Correct.
Yeah, so
True, so it wouldn't be happening anyway.
without a second rank 4 to make, Shoka's in a tight spot. You need big borrow load.
Yeah, well, Bodo doesn't play Borrow Load of his own. So he may not be able to out it very easily.
You know,
But he has used Stelio. But again, he's already used Battle Phase, so that's not as important. It's whether he wants to get the Rage back and make it live.
maybe makes a Helio now. Plays 2 copies of Helio. Oh,
He's thinking really hard about this one.
I
Is
guess
there any fire monsters in Boden's graveyard?
I don't
I don't
believe
think
so.
I don't think he used the Phoenix. So
Does he
Ash is
play?
making another Wolf. He'll probably get back the Rage.
The Rage doesn't do too much, does it?
It kind of does. It means he can destroy monsters at any point. So
Yep.
except for Colossus, he can deal with pretty much anything else.
Or is it non-targeting?
It doesn't target the second effect. It targets a monster in your field and then destroys monsters up to its linked rating.
Oh no.
You
He's
already
already-
attacked, so that unfortunately won't be going through. But that's okay. Maybe trying to get the full value of the piercing effect of Jaguar on the Wyvern.
Yes, that possibly comes up every now and then.
Well, the turn was really long.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things to deal with.
You're just clarifying that's a set card.
So 10 minutes left on the clock. Bowden draws. I'm not sure what he drew. But he definitely has a Jackalope
It
in
looked
hand.
like a Collapsor pin.
That's a really good draw.
I saw something white.
So if he links off the Wyvern now, he'll be able
That
to use
is a Collapsor
It's a
pit.
Wyvern Burster.
Wait, is it? Wait,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's the
that one.
white one.
Oh man, I get their names mixed up. Sorry.
But it still works out. He'll be able to summon it, make a link play, then get the black one, and then be able to banish Eclipse Wipe and resolve its effect.
Adding like a Chaos Dragon Legionnaire or a
The
Thunder Dragon
Emperor.
Duo. Not Duo,
The
the
Emperor.
Chaos Emperor. Yeah, that one.
Surely. Show me the Emperor.
But because Bowden's out of Colossuses, he can not summon that Diabolos back from the graveyard.
He tribute summon.
I suppose he can tribute summon a Thunder Dragon Dark.
You can just tribute summon over the Phantasma with any
Yeah.
level 5 or 6.
Yeah.
It banishes the Raw. So he's going to have to give Ashoka the Wolf effect, because that's the only place he can summon a monster.
I believe at this point it's pretty inconsequential.
Correct.
He'll likely get back Falco. He's already got an Exile, so probably just a Falco, right?
I think so. Or an extra card. Get back his Wolf.
Yeah, because he needs multiple wolves.
I think he put a lot back with Mole as well.
Yeah. But I don't think what he adds back is very impactful at this stage. If Ashoka's still shaking there.
He's thinking really hard about this one. Might use the Rage. He is.
I don't believe Bowden has many responses.
Chaining Circle.
Targeting to protect the Sunlight Wolf.
Think.
He's going to... Ooh, look at that finger shake. Using to destroy the Dark and
Phantasma as
Phantasme.
well.
Dark will activate, adding him a Thunder Dragon card. So he's adding Duo, which is very powerful. Oh.
Another big monster. And with about 8 minutes left on the clock, damage is going to be a real factor here.
Looking grim for Ashoka. He's adopting not to concede. He believes he can still win this game.
What we're talking about before with the strategy. If you
Yeah.
think you can still win the game, some players think it's worth just playing out.
Yeah.
But if he's confident he can win game 2, maybe it's worth just going there now. Because 3 minutes of siding, you get like 5 minutes to play the game.
Yeah. Do you think he'll go for a link play here? Yeah.
He could just have a Phantasme. So Bone might think about it, but he's gone straight for the Phoenix.
He's not activating it. He's just getting that Eclipse Wave in the graveyard. He'll be able to...
Yeah,
Oh,
Ashoka decides to scoop it up. We'll go to game 2 too. Let's look at the side deck. So for Bowden, he has 3 Eradicator, 3 Twin Twisters, 3 Lancia, 3 Gamma, and 2 No Material. Bowden wins game 1, so he may not be on the play. So Ashoka probably chooses to go first, right?
do you think Bowden will side in that no material to prevent to like target the Jack Jaguar so that he Dweller won't be a factor in this game?
I think definitely that's a way to go about it.
Do you
He
see
also
the
has
Twin
Gamma.
Twisters? Yeah, that. Do you see the Twin Twisters coming in to be able to hit the Rage and Roars?
It depends if he thinks Ashoka's going to side more traps or if he's even going to go first. Because if Ashoka has a good side for going second, he can just go second and do damage and maybe go to sudden death.
Yeah, Ashoka's side deck, he plays 2 Strikes, 1 Warning, 3 Lancius, 3 Pancratops, 3 Twin Twisters, 2 Typhoons, and 1 Solemn Judgment. So going first, I believe that Solemn Strike and Solemn Warning are very good cards, but because there's only like 7 minutes left on the clock, would you think that the life points
It
would
might
be
be
a
the
factor?
reason you choose a second, right?
Yeah, that's like a strategy we were talking about when time is close. You just call second and try to push for damage.
What
And then
does he have for going second?
he has Artifact Lancia, which I believe will go in whether he goes first or second. It's too very impactful. He has that's about it really. Dino's Wrestler Pancratos might
really
put in some
good.
work.
If you swing it like a Heavenly Spheres and they chain effect, you can
And-
chain effect a Pancratops and they're forced to bounce their own card.
What I've noticed is that some people in the Thunder Dragon play Crystal Wing as a monster they can summon off Argapane. Is Bowden using the Crystal Wing?
I think he's using Hot Red.
Only
Yeah,
Hot
he
Red?
is. He's using Hot
Yeah.
Red.
People have come up to me this weekend and said that they wish that they played Crystal Wing a lot of the time because a lot of the time they're weak to monster effects and not really spell and trap effects.
It truly depends if they're scared of evenly matched or not. That's like the
Yeah.
main reason Hot Red's played, I think.
Yeah, but then and then to beat that, people have been playing Electric Virus to be able to take the Hot Red
That's a very cool tech I've seen this weekend.
or even the Harbinger, the
Yeah.
Titanic Galaxy.
Well, a lot of players playing Thunder choose to make the board with 4 different attribute monsters to play around the Super Poly.
Yeah.
So we have just over 5 minutes. Bowden's drawn a Gamma and a Sekker's Light.
Ashoka has a Pancratops, so
So Ash might have gone second. Interesting choice if he did.
Ash has chosen to go first, but he has
He did
no,
not.
he
He
chose
went
second.
second. I think he may not have thought the risk with the Solemns was worth it.
Y-
So
Second.
Ash went second. Second. So Bowden's going on the play.
I think Ashoka's adopted a strategy where there's only 5 minutes on the clock, and it's better to just uh push for damage with the first battle
He has
phase.
a lot of good cards for going second anyway. He has Super Poly, Enemy Controller, Lancey, and Pancratops. He
Yeah.
has a lot of ways to do damage.
Uh,
So
Bigfoot
the
will
Big Foot
summon itself,
resolves.
discarding the Gamma. Bowden probably thought he was going second, but yeah, the Gamma's in.
So a good call by Ash in there, I think.
So interesting to see that Bowden drew the Bigfoot both games, and he only plays one Bigfoot.
It all works out. It didn't hit itself.
So Jackalope connects, discarding the Nessie, so he'll be able to draw a card, and then he'll be able to search with Nessie. Does he play Tsuchinoko?
Yeah, he
He,
plays them all. All the three good ones, and one Bigfoot.
the Bigfoot, because he is
Level
playing the
8.
card Eradicator,
Yes, he is.
and it's a target for Eradicator. It's very good.
And also, you can summon off Jackalope to make another level 8, and then
Yeah.
make rank 8 plays. The
All
unfortunate
these,
thing for Ash here is that if Bowden just takes 4 minutes to do his combo, and they draw this game, Bowden just wins.
no, there is no draw. They will play until damage, and then they'll play another
I think
game of
that's
Shoko.
over, or only after sudden death.
No.
I'm not 100% sure on that. I
Uh,
have to get a judge. Because technically this game ends in a draw, and then since Bowden's up 1-0, then he wins the match. But in top cutter may be different.
Yeah. He adds 2 Thunder Dragons in the first Thunder Dragon. I learned this weekend that Thunder Dragon can only add 2. So in a case where you Transmigration Prophecy the first Thunder Dragon, but you can't add 3,
Wow.
I was a little upset by that. But
Can't say 1 or 2.
it says up to 2.
Wow. Not all copies.
And for clarity, you cannot add 0, even though 0 is up to 2. Cards have to
Do something.
Yeah.
You can't dark hole no monsters.
He banishes a Thunder Dragon to summon
Collapse Serpent.
That's the one. I'm not even gonna try anymore.
Or Phantasma comes down. Well, Ash gets a turn here. If he has it big enough, he can just attack for damage.
He draws 3 cards. He draws Super Polymerization, Ash Blossom, and a Falco.
Well, if Ash gets a turn, he may just win.
He puts Falco and another card back. And Bowden's able to search the Wyver Bust. That's a Wyver Buster.
That's
right?
Wyver Burster. Yes.
Yeah. We're getting the names right now.
Is it worth a shot Ash just letting Bowden play it his whole turn and then just super poly for damage? Because if he interrupts him too many times, Bowden may think and then time could just run out.
Yeah, we're gonna need clarification on the intermatch procedures, but until then, we see Bowden summon the
Wyver Burster.
Wyver Buster.
Well, he has Econ Super Poly Pancratops. If he goes second and gets a turn, I'm sure that's going to do enough damage.
Oh, Bowden banished the dark, so he can search a raw. I believe he wants to search raw right now.
So the Raw comes out.
So
So Bowden just thinking now. Do another Second's Light, which he can't use.
he's got
He's making
Pisty,
the
I
Pitsy
believe.
play.
Pitsy.
Either way.
The Pisty
So that-
will.
Sorry, you go.
He can use Pisty's effect.
Oh, the Ash comes down on the LB. So we're just being told that this game cannot end in a draw since it's in top cut. So I think it goes to first damage. Am I correct?
I believe, yeah, that sounds correct. That sounds like it makes sense. Ashoka's hand is very good at going second, especially with that super polymerization. You'll be able to break any board that Bowden will try to make.
And Econ. And Pancratops. There's a lot of cards.
You can't summon the Wyverlust and Collapsopin off Pisty, right?
No.
No. So
They must be summoned from hand by their own effect.
Pisty can only really summon Brotor.
Rotor and Eclipse Wyvern, I think,
Yeah.
are the two plays. That's why he plays Armageddon.
Yeah, so the idea would have been to summon Eclipse Wyvern and then use Eclipse Wyvern and LP for a link play, and then Pisty can bring back the Eclipse Wyvern, right?
I'm trying to see if there's any way Bowden could do damage before Ashoka's turn. I just don't think he can.
Yeah, a lot of Thunder Dragon players who do not play the Danger package can play multiple Titans and then summon a Gustav Max.
Wow.
But because Bowden's deck plays a lot of monsters, he's very tight on room. Maybe
Or can he hit the Super Poly with Levy in there? There we go. He
that was
cannot.
not the super polymerization, that was a monster card.
Ash still has the power cards.
But he is running low on cards. He only has 3 cards left.
And there's 17 seconds to go.
He draws to 4. And maybe there's a way where Bowden can get to where
So time's
Bowden
about to
gets
run
to
out.
maybe there's a play where Bowden can get to the Diabolas, take out another card.
But unfortunately for him, Ash gets to choose.
Hmm.
Pitsy comes back, brings back the Levy there. So the Heavenly Spheres will probably come down. They'll be able to bounce at least one monster. Oh no, he's going for Agapane.
Oh, I've been told that the time was incorrect and there is actually 4.5 minutes remaining on the clock.
Oh wow.
But maybe it will still be Bowden's turn in 4.5 minutes at this rate.
Possibly, yeah. He doesn't mean Saruji yet either.
Yeah. Now he's linking 4 monsters to summon a Saryuja to draw 4. Now there's a Dark and an Earth monster. Super Polymerization is not live. Maybe Bowden will just keep it this way.
Or the Econ will still resolve. Unless the Hot Red negates it.
Going through his graveyard now. There's Sekka's Light that he doesn't want as he's already used one.
Yes.
Battery
He opened
Man
his turn
Solar
with it.
because he has 2 copies and can only use one.
And probably a Thunder Dragon, right?
Yeah, there we go.
So there's the correct time.
Did he keep both Solars? Or did he have 3 Solars all up?
I think he put 1 or 2 back. Maybe 1 back. No. He may have kept it. Or he did have 3.
He's using Skuldred's effect to special summon Battery Man Solar in defense position. Battery Man Solar is able to summon tokens when a Thunder monster is being summoned, correct?
Yeah, when one's summoned, it's mandatory.
Oh, and it can send.
The other Solar. So want to draw it, I guess. He's going to make Colossus, most likely, which will put 2 Darks back on the field. I think Ash will probably be able to do enough damage here.
And then
Probably see
they'll
our
play
first sudden death game, I reckon. The duo as well. So 2 Colossuses.
summons a token.
It's mandatory.
Yeah.
Another Saryuja. Interesting.
He's just really trying to draw through his deck.
Once he gets Armageddon, I reckon. Then he could probably make Sky Prison.
That furious hand shuffling there. He's putting back the Sekka's Light. He's putting back the Cyframe Driver.
And the Gamma.
He recognized that those aren't cards he needs in this position. And now it's Bowden's turn to shake.
They're both under pressure here. And understandably so. It says quarterfinals of nationals.
Special summons the Raw. And he'll use the Raw to summon a Colossus.
So again, unknowingly, he's playing into Super Poly.
Worst case scenario, he can use his own Phantasme as a polymerization target.
That's true. So either way, it's resolving.
Summons Dark.
Make another Colossus, probably. Then will he make Sky Prison or just leave 2 Colossus on the board and hope that Ash can't out it? Or Diabolus.
Oh, he has a not. Oh, he does.
He doesn't use it. He wants Heavenly Spheres. Because then he can bounce whatever he summons. And doesn't target, so Phantasma can't stop it. Yeah.
Oh, he goes for the Sky Prison. Is Sky Prison a Dark Monster? I believe
Yeah.
it is.
Go.
But Ashoka
Ash
can
will desires.
Ash lost a Pankotops.
Yeah, that's what he must have hit off the Levy there.
Yeah. If he had the Pankotops, he could have summoned it and used it to attack over the Heavenly Spheres,
Yeah,
and
but
then
he did
change
do-
Super Polymer,
Sorry, go.
and then use Super Polymerization.
So, Fox effect first. Just have to let it go.
Looks like
It's a
he at
spinning,
spinning.
but he can't summon it.
No hesitation at all.
The Sky Prison's negating it anyway.
Yes. But he knows he needs it more than another Foxy. Perhaps he's setting up for next turn.
Just over a minute to go as well.
But now I believe he can enter the battle phase and declare an attack. He's going to increase.
He can't summon it from Sky Prison. I think he may have just forgot that. That's okay.
Going to declare an attack. Send that to the hand. And then, Ashoka's shaking even though he knows he has it in the bag.
So Brotor might resolve here.
Rotor.
At least he's in the battle phase though. I think with Econ and Super Poly, Ash just have enough to do damage. And with 30 seconds to go, Bowden probably won't get another turn anyway.
Yeah. he adds a Phantasme, but Ashoka will not be using a Link Monster this turn. I don't believe so.
I don't think he needs to. The Fox is back in his hand anyway. And he has main phase 2
Super.
Desires. Oh, here comes the Super Poly.
He's shaking. He's
Oh,
shaking.
not sure Bowden's happy about that one.
Oh,
He
why?
discarded the Econ though.
Very. Oh, but I don't think it matters at this point because he can just attack over Brotor and then.
Yep.
Uh,
I think we're going to go to game 3 in time, which will be sudden death. I believe it's 2 turns each.
Oh, they are not allowed to side.
I'm
And
pretty
they
sure
will,
that's true, yeah.
and there'll be a randomized method to determine who goes first. And both their
Correct.
decks are geared to go. Well,
Second.
Ashoka's deck is geared to go
Second.
second.
Yeah,
Oh,
Pancratop's in there.
and so is Bowden's because he thought he
Wow.
was going to go second.
So if you win the dice roll, you choose second, right?
Or yes, because if you go second, you also get 2 battle phases before they check for life. This is going to be very interesting to see.
Wow.
Everyone's going to be on the edge of their seat.
The 2 highly skilled players in a high pressure situation.
And even though this is 2 turns each, I do believe each turn will go for a very long time. It's the nature of the decks.
Most likely.
Checking through it, making sure that all the cards are where they should be, so there are no unnecessary procedural errors.
So without having access to something like Goliath or Sloth, Bowden doesn't really have any power cards.
Yeah.
So you can just do his standard board.
Yeah.
But Ashoka has a lot of power cards.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have 2 turns each, no siding, and the dice roll will decide who starts.
Although this is the national championship, the mat they're playing on is a participation mat for the World Championship qualifier that we'll be having tomorrow. This is just a preview. Ashoka rolls a 9, a very high number. Bowden
You get an
rolls an
8.
8. And Ashoka will be able to choose who goes first, and I believe he will take second.
I think that's correct.
Hopefully he draws
There we go.
good hands. Ashoka chooses first. No, did he choose first?
So I think Ashoka may have actually chosen first. He
Is
sounds
he
quite good for it as well. He
Yep.
has.
an Ash and a Vela, along with the
Spinning
complete combo,
Gazelle.
the entire combo.
Combo. Does
We-
he make Dweller or a Trap? Surely Dweller.
I believe with no interrupt.
Oh, Gamma. He can Ash it though if he wants, but then it stays in his hand and
Yeah.
he can use it again.
It's a very tough
He's gonna
decision.
do it. Interesting.
But he
Now
can
he knows
just,
it's there too.
and then the Balinks will activate, adding the Sanctuary to the hand. And ashing the Gamma. I'm not sure about that play. Maybe if I would have taken a little more time to think about it.
Yeah.
But maybe he knows his play, and
The upside is that if he gets the balance in the grave before he makes his next effect, the Gamma won't do anything.
but we do know now that Ash will not be able to end on that ideal field. Maybe
Yeah.
calling first was not the correct play.
True.
Maybe in hindsight there were decisions he would have done.
It depends if he actually decided for second as well. We're just assuming that because of Pankratops. He may have just wanted it in there anyway.
Yeah. But I think I would have valued having 2 battle phases pretty high.
I agree.
But he probably has a game plan. He knows what he's doing.
So he's choosing to...
Activate its effect to send a card to the
Yeah.
graveyard. And the Gamma will resolve, summoning the driver from his deck and then destroying. He will summon Spinning back from the graveyard and then link with the Balinks to summon Sunlight Wolf.
Did he have the field spell of Balinks? Or did he forget?
No, he definitely did add it.
He does? Yeah,
There
good.
we go. Yeah, he's shaking.
I think he's realised he won't be able to get the Ash back now as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Some of
Gamma's
this-
really good. Oh, he has the pass.
And this might be very catastrophic turn
Depends what
coming up.
Bowden said looks like though as well.
Yeah,
Ash
there's
still has Veiler. I
Bowden.
think that's for a Solar. Chaos Dragon. Oh,
It
Bigfoot
opened-
again.
all 3 games.
So many big feet.
Uh,
Did he hit it this time?
because
does
Bowden used the Gamma, he's back down to 5 cards, changing the percentage of hitting it from 17% to 20%.
Still missed.
And Bigfoot has successfully summoned as a first play all 3 games.
He has Collapse Serpent in hand as well, so that at least he did a light, he can actually summon it.
You think Bowden will just push for damage over 2 turns, or do you think he'll focus on creating a very strong board?
Depends what his hand's like. If he just has game, he'll just go for game, right?
Oh, the Bailings might be a little difficult.
True. His hand doesn't look great. Here's another Wyver Burster. Collapse Serpent. I think that's a Brotor maybe, or a Thunder Dragon. Or 2 Thunder Dragons.
Summons collapse.
Might just have to do damage.
He's thinking about it. Is that another Wyver
Is
Buster?
Wyver Burster that he can't use unless he links? Is that a Brotor? I think it is. And maybe a Thunder Dragon. The Furious Hand Shuffling makes it hard to see the cards.
He's linked something in a way.
Might make Phoenix.
Just take as many cards away from his opponent as he can.
No, he's making Land Foreign because gonna add Wyver Burster. Ash doesn't know he already has one, so this is not a great ad for him anyway.
I believe Lamphorincus is Lamphorincus in every language as well. I picked up one of my opponent's one once, and it was not English, but it was still Lamphorincus.
Like Regeki, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to check what type it was.
So the adds the Wyver Burster. Ash still has Veiler too. So if Bowden tries to commit too hard and gets Veiler, that could actually hurt him a lot.
Yeah, neither of them opened a very ideal hand. Ash opened very strong, but it was stopped by a single Gamma.
Gamma's so impactful there. Wyver Burster comes down. Probably banishing the Collapse Serpent. Yep.
And then he can summon LP, which
But the Veiler.
it's likely to get Veiled.
Then he might just only have one way to get over a Wolf, which would be Triple Burst, and Bane can just protect.
Yeah. Oh, he summons LP there though.
He's probably just praying at this point that it goes through.
Perhaps he
Getting
doesn't.
another
Oh, he
Collapse
doesn't want to
Serpent.
summon a monster in front of
not at
Sunlight
all.
Wolf to
Definitely not.
allow Ash to get either Gazelle or Ash back.
What's the play here? Almost summon Brotor. Probably make a Pitsy, whichever one it
Pisty.
is.
And then he will attempt to use LP, I believe, now to summon.
Also a tough choice because Pitsy resolving means Brotor resolves. So which one does he want a Veiler?
He can summon Pisty back and then use Pisty and Lamphorincus to summon Agapane.
Well, if he Veilers this, then LP summons Wyvern, and then Ash has one card in hand, and I don't think it's another hand trap. Thinking real hard on it.
He has the Veiler, the Pisty.
I think it's unfortunate either way. I think he's letting it resolve.
And he's activating Brotor targeting LP, so he'll be able to add 11 in. He will be discard. I think he will discard the other Wyver Buster.
Surely. Probably the Collapse Serpent, because that's the one Ash knows he actually has another one of.
True. Joker doing some furious math here.
Devaluing.
The Brotor.
Discards his cost, right? Or does it not?
Makes triple burst. Then LP will activate summoning. And now he can make Agapane.
Does not discard his cost.
Oh, the more you learn. Summons Agapane.
Fortunately for Ashoka, it's not looking too great right now.
And
The Hot Red comes down. It's a really big monster.
but he banished a Levianeer, right?
Possibly, yeah.
And now he's probably just going to attack for a lot of damage.
His hand doesn't do anything else. So he probably makes Saruja. And summons a monster from hand if he has one. As much as he can. Because Ash can still draw Super Poly.
Oh, he's going to banish 2
Oh, it's Duo.
Thunder Dragon Duo.
Wow.
And he'll be able to add back the Levianeer.
And if Duo hits and destroys a monster, he gets to add a Thunder. Ash either has to let something else destroy the Wolf.
It'll also gain 300 attack on the Duo, putting it to 31.
That's really big.
And the Levy Neal will also gain 300.
I
I
think
think
he's
Ashoka
conceded. So
sends
well
a
played
hench.
by both players.
Uh,
Congratulations to Bowden. So he'll go move on to the top four.
and then
Um,
Ashoka, he's done well. We're so proud of him, but he will
he'll be happy with that still.
he'll be happy. He'll be upset and happy, and then hopefully he plays just as well tomorrow, and then he'll do very well tomorrow.
Yeah.
I believe in
Knowing
him.
him, he'll focus on that more
Yeah,
now.
definitely. He'll take in all his losses from this weekend, refine his deck, refine his plays, and I'm sure he'll do well tomorrow.
Yeah. And you can't be upset losing to a great player as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
whenever you to a good player in a good game, you can't really be
yeah,
upset about that.
yeah. We'll bring Bowden in for an interview shortly, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. So before we get the interview, so as you can see there, like we mentioned before, um, yeah, we'll probably get that up in a sec. But Salamander was the most represented deck,
Yeah, a
followed by
quarter of the field.
Orcust.
Yeah, Orcus was they're both decks that are popular to play because they're very linear in what they do. Orcus just wants to be able to get two fog blades down along with um Rusty Bardiche on the field with Dingrease in the graveyard, and then try to control the field using one send, one destroy, and two fog blades.
Yeah.
Salamangreat is the budget deck of choice, being just three structure decks and just a few other cards to make it
You still
better.
have to get Dingursu for Orcus as well, even though it's mostly commons and rares.
Yeah, and yeah, so Orcus you can build in many ways. You could be like 37 people who build it with like a danger engine, or you can be 28 people who choose not to use the danger engine. They choose instead to adopt strategies like the Trick Stars using Candina and Corobane, and like Sage Effect to be able to turn off set spells and traps.
Yeah.
They could use Sky Striker engine where they can search Hornet Drones, which starts the combo without using the normal summon. At the same time, you can add a Eagle Booster to be able to protect your mermaid from hand traps like Ash Blossom and Effect Veiler.
I do like the many options with Orcus. You can do so many things with it. The engine's just so consistent as well.
And then we have a Sky Striker, which is still very popular. Like I said before, that a lot of people wrote that deck off when Kagari went to 1, but we can see that it's still very popular and still very strong.
Yeah, and Mystic Mind definitely helped that deck out a lot.
Yeah, and some do utilize Signet Universe to get around Kagari being at 1.
Yeah, the interesting stat for me is that the other is actually less than the most represented deck.
Yeah.
Normally, it's way more than anything else.
Yeah. We have Thunder Dragon at 29. From the top of my head, 27 of them use dangers, and 2 of them are pure Thunder Dragon decks. I do believe that's a very strong deck, as we saw that match. But when I played the deck, I found that deck very difficult to pilot because every hand I opened, I would be like, there are like 100 decision trees for me to make, but I just don't know which one's ideal. Like I know that I can get somewhere, I just don't know how to get there
Yeah.
and where I'm going. Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely the deck of choice for the more experienced players that with the deck. But
yeah,
even the better players, they can pick it up too. It's very
yeah.
powerful. Like
And
the
then
danger engine makes it so much stronger as well.
the Pendulum Magician's also quite popular. I believe that deck is also very difficult to pilot. It also utilizes the guard dragons to be able to summon monsters like the Hot Red Dragon Abyss. It uses dragon,
Sloth, I think, as well.
yeah, because it can pendulum summon that and it uses dragons that it already plays, like the what's it called, the one that
The
you
Dark
summon.
Worm as well.
Yeah, that one. And then uh
So
and then and
the
then
other cool decks we have there are True Draco, Altergus, and even Cyber Dragon. So we'll get back to this graph a bit later on. I think we have Bowden coming in for an interview before we head on to the top four. So we'll
I
see you
know.
soon. welcome back. We're with World's competitor Bowden Temnick,
Hey,
just winning our top 8 feature
Sorry.
man. Moving on to top 4. Do you know who your opponent's going to be next?
the winner of Lincoln Johnson and Michael Duke.
Wow.
So it's either a Thunder Dragon mirror match, which I think we're almost card for card, or Sky Striker, which I'm also very confident
Well,
with.
speaking of card for card, here's your list. Is there any reason you decided against the Crusadia package and just went for a 41 card deck?
I gotta keep some secrets for Monday.
Very good. Very good.
Mm.
So the interesting thing I see in here is the Chaos Emperor Dragon that you have. Is it yours, or did you borrow
It's
one?
mine, yeah.
Oh, very good. Are you happening
Yeah.
to win another one this weekend?
Yeah, it would justify justify having this one, I think. But,
Yeah, of course.
Mm.
So what made you choose this deck for the event?
it's the best deck. There's no real way around it. Very underrepresented, so that makes
Yeah,
it
of course.
inherently better as well. We thought maybe the results of Knoxville would dictate how the metagame would pan out, but like given the circumstances of like the geographic location of Australia, it seems like a lot of people would not deviate from the strategies they were already playing. So
Yeah.
Salamangreat being like the heavily represented deck, and then I guess like Sky Striker as well, because Sky Striker's just been around for a year.
Yeah, of course.
So
It's
I don't think there's any room for people to like accumulate the dangers in such a short period of time and then like be able to play the deck up to par unless they've already been playing it.
yeah, of
So
course.
like I figured the number wouldn't increase maybe ever so slightly moving into like the WCQ season for Europe and USA, but for us I feel like it's still going to be very underrepresented. So this
Yeah.
just felt like a solid safe pick. It has a bad Orcus matchup game 1, but otherwise everything else seems spot on.
Because I'm not
So,
sure if you saw the statistic for the breakdown yet, but it was definitely dominated by Salamangreat and
Oh, yeah,
August.
definitely.
Orcus is pretty split though, as like between danger and non-danger.
Mm.
What's your opinion on that? Do you think it's warranted either way, or it just depends what you
I
like?
think the non-danger build is a lot stronger. It gets to play a lot of the good engines. Luckily, a lot of those engines are very bad against the Thunder Dragon Colossus. But for the most part, I think Trickstar Light Stage and Sky Striker Mobilize Engage are just very good cards.
Yeah.
They just they generate one card Orcus combo, which is really good. Which means any like additional cards that you have can allow you to play through hand traps like Lancia. I see people playing cards like Instant Fusion. If you get Lancia'd and you open normal Orcus combo, you're able to Instant Fusion and keep a window on the field for a turn, which is very oppressive against most decks. So I feel like it's just a very powerful deck, but the dangers don't really give it anything else outside of maybe like when you discard for Mermaid or when you're going second, they seem like a lot better because they're
Yeah.
just generating more free cards.
Yeah,
so.
of course. And also the light stage itself takes out a
Of
spell
course, yeah.
trap as well,
Light
so that's just
stages
even
are
more
very good.
interaction.
Light stage does too many things to be legal, in my opinion, but
Oh,
I
well,
think that
this
card is
time
very
last year it
nice.
was the dominant card of the
Of course,
whole
yeah.
event,
No, it's
so.
it's very funny that that Trickstar has got a nice 2-year run, and even Sky Striker as well, 2-year run.
Very good. Well, congratulations. I look forward to
Awesome.
seeing you. Maybe you'll be in top 4 feature match. Maybe you won't be.
We'll
but
see.
we'll see either way. So good luck.
Awesome.
Hopefully you
Thank
do well.
Cheers.